Shalom. Iran snubs Trump in Islamabad. What is that? That's those talks in Pakistan. So Iran says, nope, F whatever you're talking about, we ain't even going. Hits U.S. Navy in Strait of Hormuz as war nears. So here's what Iran is doing. We ain't trying to talk to you, and we're hitting you in the strait. All right? Esau's in straits. Right? Bab el Mandab and Hormuz. Okay. There's a couple of other straits in there. This is 1 hour ago. All right. Shalom, Kal Halal, Yahweh Shem Yahshua, Bashem Kadash. Double honor to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone, even the elders that came before them that taught us is true. Shalom, and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word of truth and in sincerity and hopeful like tabernacle of David. The elder Yahshua, shalom, salutations to you all. Get that? What is this? This here, Iran snubs Trump in Islamabad is what? That's peace and safety. Iran knows better than to go and sit down with these people because as soon as the ink has been signed on the agreement, then they're striking. That's that sudden. Let's get that peace and safety in the NIV. 1 Thessalonians 5:3. While people are saying peace and safety, destruction will come on them suddenly, as labor pains on a pregnant woman, and they will not escape. A. Sign an agreement and see what happens. So I'm going to play a little bit of this and then I'm going to jump to 14. He's going to say what's going to happen next. Okay, so whatever's going on right now, Trump is stalling so that he can attack. So once that is kind of conveyed here, I'll go ahead and bring it to an end with a couple of pre's.
Hey everyone, welcome back. I am actually on a high-speed rail right now in China from Changsha to Beijing. We're going 350 kilometers an hour. I thought I would update some news for you as you get to see what's happening outside in China as we move across this vast distance in this massive country. But let's get to some news right now. Iran has just dropped a bombshell on the Trump administration around the Strait of Hormuz. As you all know, the United States is right now attempting to blockade Iran's blockade of the Strait of Hormuz, and the Trump administration's consistency on the war is waffling and wavering the longer that this war goes on. But Iran has not been wavering one bit, and actually its parliament has now prepared the new rules entirely legislatively for the Strait of Hormuz. These rules are as follows: payment of a fee in rials before obtaining a permit to pass, mandatory use of the name Persian Gulf in all contracts, payment of compensation in addition to the fee by ships of countries that participated in the war against Iran. Passage through the strait is permanently prohibited for ships associated with Israel, countries imposing sanctions against Iran, or participating in the blocking of Iranian assets, military ships of hostile states, including the United States. Now, this is not the only part of this, however. Iran has said categorically that the Strait of Hormuz will be blocked until there is a release of $11 trillion of Iranian assets released due to sanctions. And there will be absolutely no discussion of even allowing any relief around the Strait of Hormuz unless the United States stops its blockade. And unlike in prior wars that the U.S. has fought, now it's the country that's being attacked which is setting ultimatums. In fact, Abbas Araghchi, the foreign minister of Iran, has just said that if this does not happen within 48 hours, then the ceasefire altogether will end. Of course, the ceasefire expired. The initial ceasefire has expired. There were talks about talks. Now there might be a Sunday deadline, but we are not. There's no clarity in the Trump administration about how it wants to talk to Iran, when it wants to talk to Iran, and whether.
So we have to read between the lines. What does it mean? All of this confusion. And if we haven't learned, anything, you have to watch what people do. They're doing exactly the same thing, trying to lure them into some sort of talk and then hit them. Right? So if you can't get the talk, then what? Then hit them. Right? So what are we waiting on right now? Let's see. I'm going to move it forward because I don't want this to be long. And he's going to say, well, what's going to happen next? Well, they're going to hit him. And Trump is going to say, well, I don't want to be rushed. What does that mean? It means that he's not ready yet. His logistics are not in place. Oh, don't rush me. Don't rush me. He's not ready to pull the trigger yet. So let's go here to 14. 14. Let's just get right here. I'm going to keep this short. Take it down.
May go for war. Some are saying possible. February 28th, 2026 was not the beginning of the U.S. war on Iran. It began in earnest in 1979, but really 1953, when the CIA collaborated with BP.
Okay, so what is he saying? Okay, the first Shah was 53, and then the uprising in 79. So he's going back and quoting all these. He probably wasn't even born then, but he's saying when this war that they're fighting now actually started. Okay, where bomb Iran actually came from. Okay, the propaganda was thick in the 70s.
In the UK to overthrow Mohammed Mossadegh. But 1979 was when the active modern form of this war launched sanctions and, of course, numerous attempts at regime change by many different means. So we can't expect that the United States may go for war. Some are saying possible in the next week, possible in.
That's what I'm looking for. Where are we at? This is a World War III Daily Update. What's the update? Here it is.
February 28th, 2026 was not the beginning of the U.S. war on Iran. It began in earnest in 1979, but really 1953, when the CIA collaborated with BP in the UK to overthrow Mohammed Mossadegh. But 1979 was when the active modern form of this war launched sanctions and, of course, numerous attempts at regime change by many different means. So we can't expect that the United States may go for war. Some are saying possible in the next week, possible in the next weekend, maybe the next weekend. But nonetheless, there's obviously a lot of doubt about what military strikes can accomplish with the United States.
Okay, so he said they are going to attack maybe in the next week, maybe. Now he's going to say something about Trump not being rushed.
Can accomplish if it goes along with this. So Donald Trump, he is now saying that he doesn't want to be rushed. Okay, can you believe this? So him and his administration, the United States empire, wreak havoc on the Iranian population. They wreak havoc on the Lebanese population. Now with Israel breaking the ceasefire and continuing to fire on civilians, and we know just how devastating and brutal the impact of Israel's genocidal campaign in Lebanon has been.
So what's going on? And what does China and what does Russia know? They know what's going on. What's going on? Donald Trump is moving everything he needs into the theater, and it's taken a while. And what is this? What's this right here? Britain attacks Russia. What is that? Is this World War III? Britain. 4 months. 2 hours. Russian attacks. Ukraine. 2 hours. Black rain. NATO jets blow up Russian targets. Is that Great Britain? Who had that up? It was that this guy Steve Poplar? Did Poplar say he said something crazy? Let me see what Steve said. What is it? Poplar preparedness. Let's see. Bear with me as I just run a quick little check. Be not ignorant. LMNOP QRS. Poplar preparedness. Prepper. Steve Poplar QRST. S. Let's see. Steve Ram. Survival. Steve Ram. Surviving end times. Who's that? Poplar report. Let me see. Maybe it wasn't old Steve. Who said what? Global reset. Right here. British jets attack Russia. What the hell? 5 hours ago. I thought I remember seeing it. So Slovakia for digging. That's what we're supposed to do here. So my memory isn't that good. So I'm just kind of challenging myself as I get older here.
Friends, we have a big report today. We got some pretty crazy reports coming in, and let's just say everybody is extremely on edge. Good Saturday morning to you all. Hopefully, you guys are doing great. We got another Watchman update. There are widespread reports that British fighter jets from Romania have entered into Ukraine and opened fire on Russian aircraft.
Okay, so is that NATO? He just named Romania, British. Is that NATO doing this? And he's calling it World War III. Sounds like World War III to me.
These were unmanned aircraft, but the fact that British fighter jets may have crossed into Ukraine and opened fire on and engaged in battle over in Ukraine is huge. We have the British denying that they did this, but things are clearly tense over there. Bankers have now come up with a number of how much oil we have lost overall due to the conflict in Iran, and it's massive. It's a massive number of barrels of oil. I'll give you a global perspective on that. We got peace talks. Look like they could begin in the next couple of days.
Peace and safety. Oh, this isn't new. We just heard that they said hell no. So this is just mass confusion. We'll get a second Ezra. Let's get it right now. Confused rulers and unstable leaders. Right? Second Ezra 9 and 3 in the GMT. There will be earthquakes, national rebellions, international intrigues, unstable leaders, and confused rulers. When you see these things happening, you will know that they are what God Most High has spoken about since the beginning of creation. So we know what time we're in. Quite obvious. Let him talk a little while longer.
But don't get your hopes up. It looks like the gap between the United States and Iran are vast. Earthquake in Missouri.
Why did you say that? There will be earthquake. Earthquake in Missouri. Right?
Tariffs, big new tariffs coming. A deadbeat U.S. ally claims to be not a deadbeat. That's exactly what you think they'd say. And China cuts off military supplies to European military manufacturers. This is a big problem. and
National
peaches.
rebellions.
We need to talk about the peaches, friends. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade. And these are your updates. If you have something to share, make sure you use that word update somewhere in your comments. 2 British Typhoon aircraft were sent to intercept the target with authorization to fire. Now, this is right on the border of Moldova and Ukraine and Romania, right on that corner there. One report said that the British Typhoons were authorized to open fire on Russian drones inside Ukraine that were headed towards Romania. Now, they were also headed towards the city in the corner, the Ukrainian city in the corner there, up against the Romanian border. There were a bunch of drones and strikes on that city. So, one, did a drone cross over and hit Romania? Because that's a big deal right there. 2, the British Typhoons were supposed to shoot down that drone, but apparently failed because, well, I mean, they're British Typhoons, British European fighters. This is not the cream of the crop. Anyway, we've seen this before where European aircraft have been scrambled to defend Poland and Romania and other countries.
And they can't hang.
They always turn up empty with nothing to show for it. But they scrambled their fighters. Good for them. But there are reports that they were authorized to open fire and did open fire on Russian drones on the Ukrainian side of the border. Now, Ukraine is a battle zone, a war space, and if British aircraft crossed the border into Ukraine, that's a very big deal. And 2, if they even fired missiles across the border to interfere with Russian forces, that's also a big escalation right there.
All right, I'm going to stop that because they're at full war and they've been launching long-range missiles into Moscow and all that, so this doesn't mean a whole lot now, does it? But they're trying to get some traction out of it. What does it lead to? I'm going to get one and I'm going to go ahead and close. It leads to Revelation 11 and 14. What did he say it was? Let's go back here real quick. It says it right here. Come on, Steve. Steve, right here. WW3 just began, right? Where's it at, Steve? WW3 just began. World, global. Okay. Revelation 11, it doesn't matter. And 14, it doesn't matter what language, what version. The second woe has passed. Behold, the third woe is coming shortly. Well, Steve said it just began. Let's get it right here. Let's lock in. 16. Up right here. The beginning. What is it? Well, it was me. Started 17. Second Ezra 16 and 17. Woe is me, woe is me. Who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great noise. The beginning of famine and great death. The beginning of wars. What did Steve say? World War III began. Just the beginning. Steve is on to something. The beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? With that, we hope that we pray that the elect ratifies you, brother and sister. Shalom.